Hello everyone, I am Moha from Brainwash Gang. We are going to start a stream to show you the chapter 4, talk a bit about this chapter, and also share with you one of the exclusive songs of this exclusive part of the game. Let me introduce you to my friends and co-workers in this game, Bea and Edu.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Bea, and I'm in charge of all the music from this game.
Yeah, I'm Edu, and I'm working on this game for almost 1 year and a half. So we are really happy to have launched it.
Yep. Yeah, so as Moha said, we are gonna share a bit more of chapter 4 with you today. And then also I will show you a song from this chapter. So, yeah, if you guys want to talk about what this chapter is about or who the main character is.
Yeah. Mm, I'm going to start, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, this chapter, I told you the story about a kid, which is a moose. Is that a thing? Moose?
I think it's Moose.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And yeah, it's start with the kid being a baby and growing up a bit in every scene. Um, we wanted to make something happy. I mean, not happy in the way that so fun and everything. It's like really cool, but we wanted, or at least I personally wanted to set like the innocence and the calm of being a kid, which everything could be interesting and new for you. Maybe that's not like really exciting for many people, but I find that not many games speak about the innocence by itself. So I think that for me, at least personally, is like the theme that the chapter is about.
Yeah, I think it also works very well when you come from the rest of the chapter, from chapter 1 to 3, where you can feel other types or other experiences related to maturity. And starting chapter 4 with playing as a kid and also experiencing this approach to life that it's always a game, and as one of the songs says in this chapter, breaking everything and making it again, which is something that is not so common in an adult's mentality. I think it works very well. It's very different from the rest of the chapters. It makes it even more unique, and yeah, not sure. I guess it has other. The way it affects you, in my opinion at least, is very special. Like it may be like a chapter where you will be happy, but yeah, in my case, I started crying when I played it because I, in some way, um, acknowledged or noticed the change in my life that made me lose my. I'm not sure if innocence, but uh, that child within me, and I want to revive that child. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's a chapter. Well, I guess for everyone, it will be like very endearing because, as Moja said, we all can, like, well, most of us, I believe, feel a very special way about our childhood. So when seeing a kid and, get into that mindset and perspective, um, yeah, it's there's nothing wrong happening, but it's just like for me as well as just like Moja said, it's like very um I don't know, like intense in some way, um because childhood just touches you in a weird way, I guess. And that sounded really bad. I mean that it's like very yeah, like intense and emotional. That's it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think one of the strengths that we are watching in this stream is the scene that was in the demo, the kid running, but another scene that we will see right now is when the kid plays at his place. He wears like a ghost, and that type of playing, trying to scare your mom or no, no, like in your world, it's something that, yeah, as an adult we forgot about it. So getting in that character is like returning to those years, and I think it's magic. I love this chapter in that sense.
Mhm. Yeah, it's. I think that it will be easier to connect with the people because if you are watching this or playing this game, surely you are like at least more than 12 years old,
Yeah,
so you have experienced all of this sense. But what I'm a bit worried about is that this is some kind of a specific way of life. Like it's a really easy to I don't know how to say, like feel that um, or being like, ¿cómo se diría? En plan, que es fácil empatizar.
yeah. If it's easy to
Easy to empathize.
yeah,
Yeah, i-
Empathize.
if you have lived in a happy house at
yeah.
some point.
That's the
So
that's the thing, I think. Yeah.
the only thing that worry me a lot about this chapter is that because it feels like a really nice, childhood.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not universal for everyone.
Oh, of course. Not everyone grows in like a nice house and all of that, but we actually don't know much else from this kid. So it is what you make of it, I guess. Like, right? Just you just see, well, just like in the whole game, you just see specific moments, and then you create this story in your head. You fill the gaps with what your imagination tells you. So in this case, as in the others, like you're in a specific place and stuff that I mean, in that sense, yes, I agree with you, but we don't know how his life is. Like,
But
that is something you have to imagine.
but I guess you can empathize with many other elements. Like right now, we are seeing the part in which the kid is drawing the ghost, and after drawing the ghost, he goes to the teacher and shows their painting, and at the journey he goes to the moose goes to the teacher. Um, you can see the drawings of other people, like this type of comparisons, and there are many elements that I guess are more universal than we think, like these comparisons, playing. Of course, we can't really make out of it like the kid has a happy childhood, but I guess we can empathize with many of the elements we see in this chapter. Like of course we haven't lived the life of this kid, but for example, the chapter takes place in a snowy environment. Most of us probably haven't, especially us in Spain, haven't lived in this type. Like we saw snow a few times in our entire lives. No, it's not common, but we can emphasize. So I guess when we see a story, we try to get small parts of it or elements in which we can see ourselves. We want to see ourselves in them. Like it's not only in this game, we do it in almost all culture we consume. So I hope that even if you have had a different childhood, you can empathize more or less.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not we hear the song that you have prepared for this chapter?
Sure.
Yeah.
This song you're about to hear is called The Shape of Clouds. And yeah, hope you like it.
Ring.
Crashing clouds ever changing shapes that tell a story. I see a story up there. Greedy eyes now cry 'cause they forgot to take the greatest prize. And children running, one falls behind. I hear her calling. I think she's calling a pretty name that I forgot. Got distracted watching shapes in the clouds, but since we're all just dust in the wind, I'll keep on telling stories that never happened, but maybe they one day will. Broken hearts relearn to love against their promise. The one they once made, and fields of daisies that one day will lose their petals. 'Cause they hold your fate, although your name, well, I forgot. Got distracted watching shapes in the clouds, but since we're all just dust in the wind, I'll keep on telling stories that never happened, but maybe they one day will. Crashing clouds, ever changing shapes that tell a story. I see a story out there.
So tell us, Bea, what has inspired you to make this song?
Um, I guess I struggled a bit writing songs for this chapter because there's a lot of topics that you don't want to get into when you're watching a kid, you know? So, yeah, I was thinking about things related to being a kid and all of that. And I think one really typical thing in media is like this watching clouds and imagining shapes. And I think that's one thing that every kid has done, you know? And yeah, I use that as a way of telling different stories in the song because yeah, that's what you do when you watch clouds. You just imagine stuff and then create this world in your head, and which is really nice, in my opinion, because it's the same thing you do when you play this game. That you just have to imagine what all of this means to you, these random scenes, and connect them, and you create your thing in your head, and that's like what the kids do actually all the time. If I remember being a kid, all I did was like creating stuff in my head. I would imagine, I don't know, you're like your creative spark or whatever is like very strong when you're a kid. So that's what the song is about, basically, just creating stories out of whatever.
Which part of the song do you think it's your favorite?
Mm, I really like the chorus. Yeah, I think it's really nice. Like, I don't know. I like the whole thing. Yeah, it's also interesting because even though it's like this kid stuff, I can't avoid but talking about deeper like stuff and maybe not so much things that a kid would think about. But yeah, so it has this element of being a kid and imagining stuff, and then you have this um, deeper, I guess, topics that this kid is imagining. So it's like this both, this contradiction, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the songs of chapter 4 because I feel like they are much more visceral, like um, much more. They are
Deeper.
not really deeper in the sense of meaning, but deeper in the sense of humanity. Like it's like a child, how the way a child feels. Like I feel from the outside, I feel like you have done like an effort to make that child within you sing those songs, and I think that's
So nice.
one of the reasons why these songs are so intense in chapter 4.
Yeah, they are. The last one,
Yeah,
I just,
Mm.
wow.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that it's better to stop talking because this game has many words, and I prefer to let the people think about what the game is in in a state of being here. Like we have made this for this and this and this. So yeah, mm, I think it's a good time to stop this.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's not for being lazy or something. It's
Yeah.
just that I want to let the people play it. Like
yeah. What
if
we,
they, if for me the best way to play it, even if you not have been watching the trailer, like you set something in your eyes and that's all. So yeah, maybe.
yeah, we would love to hear what anyone thinks about the game if someone has played it. And
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. It's one of our most desired things to hear from you and see what you think of the chapter. Because we have talked already a lot, and we would love to hear our players. Thank you for watching this stream, and I hope you enjoyed the game. Thank you.
thanks. Bye.
Bye.